I went down to...
It's Wednesday morning and this is marvellously flat, marvellously calm and very, very, very slow going. So, this is just as forecast actually. And later on there'll be some wind if the forecast continues to be right. But at the moment it's very relaxing and quiet and peaceful. It's just like being on holiday. So do you think I could risk taking the reefs out of the sail? I don't want to be too hasty. Actually, I will. Okay, taking reefs out. First of all, better relax everything a bit. Relax the vang. Relax the main sheet. Use the topping lift, raise up the boom a little bit. Now relax the main halyard so that I can get the, that'll do. Go forward, unclip the sail from the reefing point. That's it. Back inside. Relax the reef 1, relax reef 2, and let's just have this, let go of the, just for a moment, let go of the preventer, so I can now pull up the mainsail. Should be a jolly shanty for this, shouldn't there? It goes. Let out some more of this reefing line. And the other reefing line, let that out as well. Come on. Okay. Apply a little bit of gentle persuasion with the winch handle. Now there's a reason why this isn't going up. Let's make sure the first reefing point isn't caught up in something. It is. Untangled the sail. Okay. Too much tension. Relax the main halyard again. Let that down a little bit. And now untangle the sail from there. Now it should rise up. And it does. There we are. The mainsail is up. Apply a little bit of loft tension, lock it down. Okay. Taking the slack on reefing point 1, lock it down. Lock down reefing point 2. Relax the topping lift. Slack out of the vang. There we are. I say, look at that, that's actually drawing. Let's give this mainsail a bit of a better angle to the strong wind that we're experiencing of 0.00 knots. Okay. There it is. A marvellous mainsail in full its glory. Time for a cup of tea. So just because we're becalmed, there's no reason to do nothing. So I put the sails up goose winged, so we're catching the best of what wind there is, which is 0 knots. And of course, a lovely day like this is the perfect time to make some bread. So that's rising away very fast actually. So we're going to have some lovely fresh bread in about half an hour or 45 minutes. Another thing of slightly worrying, well I suppose it's not that worrying, but I was seeing nothing on my AIS, no other vessels at all. So I tried rebooting the router and fiddling around, and then I just had a look at the top of the mast, and I don't suppose you can see it. Well, you can't see it either, because there is no radio antenna up there. It's gone. It's just bailed out. So that's a bit of a nuisance, isn't it? So I have a handheld VHF, and I'm pretty sure I've got an emergency antenna somewhere. So I'm going to route that out and see if I can rig that up and see whether that'll get things working. Of course, it won't be so high up, but it'll do something. I'll pop it up somewhere if I can find it. So yeah, watch this channel. Be back in a moment. All right, so here we are. Emergency VHF antenna. Hooray! Glomex. Let's see what's in the box. Ooh. A cable. Oh Lord, is that it? Okay. Oh, all right, so that goes on here. There we are. And this plugs into the radio. Okay, now, all right, so it's got things to mount it up. Right, so fabulous. I shall go away. I shall fit this up on my own, and I'll report back as we'll see if it works, eh? So there we are. We may not have an aerial at the top of the mast anymore, but I've managed to rig the emergency aerial. It's there, it is. I've put it up the backstay, and I've managed to wire it in all the way down. You can see my gaffer tape. The world runs on gaffer tape here, and onto the radio. So I had wondered why I wasn't getting any radio alerts overnight, and now I know why. So I did just hear very faintly the radio weather from the Coast Guard. I don't think there's much AIS going in or out because I haven't seen anything on my chart plotter since then. So anyway, we are where we are. It's a beautiful day, and the bread's cooked and cooling. So I think it's nearly time for another cup of tea and some breakfast. Well, it seems I spoke a little too soon, because I've now got one other vessel on my AIS. That's the yellow line there. So the AIS is working from a receiving point of view for at least about 10 or 12 miles. So that is pretty cheering, actually. The question just is whether they can see me as well as I can see them. I don't know. I shall have to see about getting a new antenna. I don't think that's going to happen in Baltimore, so I may have to call in somewhere else on the way back. Well, look at this for a lovely, smooth, calm sea. If it was like this all the time, a lot more people would go sailing, I suspect. But despite the calmness, a little bit of wind has picked up, and we are moving. There's 6 or 7 knots of apparent wind, and we're travelling along at 3.5 knots. And for the first time, we're able to more or less aim straight at Baltimore. So what's not to like? 50 miles to go. Still a fabulous day. Warm sun, blue sky, and over there is the old head of Kinsale. Fantastic old lighthouse. The only downside is that the wind, which was completely gone, is now to some extent back, but it's come back from the southwest. So I'm having to go back to the beating my way down the coast. I'm just tacking out of Court McSherry Bay, and once I can get an angle of about 300 degrees on that stuff over there, I'll tack again. Oh, hello. I'm reading a book. Why am I reading a book? Because suddenly I appear to have been transported to the Bermuda Triangle. This morning there was no wind, and then this afternoon it sort of picked up a bit, and I was quite hopeful that that last 50 miles to Baltimore was going to happen. Then, look what's happened now. Is this flat calm or what? This is flat calm. I don't think I've ever seen it more calmer than this. Well, maybe once actually, because there are some tiny ripples, aren't there? However, we're not registering anything on the wind gauge at all. We're not registering anything on the speed, and in actual fact we're going nowhere. So this is the Jester challenge, and if we're going to continue being a part of it, we can't start the engine. So I shall continue challenging, and I shall wait. that a tiny wake behind us? I think it is. And are these tiny ripples on the surface of the water? Yep. Are we reading anything on the wind meter? Nope. No wind, but what there isn't of it is coming from behind. And in front of us is Baltimore, over there somewhere. In fact, we're aiming straight at Baltimore at this moment. Hopefully, optimistically, put some sails up. And as the sun goes down, let's hope that this is more than just a little eddy in the river currents of the atmosphere. Yeah, maybe it is. Only time will tell. Gosh, well, look, we're moving. 0.5 knots for a moment. Thursday morning. It's not raining. It's not calm. There's actually quite a good breeze going on. It's coming from right behind. So we are moving quite fast towards Fastnet Rock, which is dead ahead of us. Can't see it yet. It's about 10 miles away. But what I have seen today is some other little sails. I don't think they'll show on the camera, but there's one right over there. Looks like it's heading back from Fastnet Rock, and there was another one earlier on which has now disappeared out of sight. So it looks as if there'll be some people there to welcome me. That's great, isn't it? Will I get there today? This is remaining to be seen.
The way, Santi, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? Yes, away, Santi, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?